Welcome, everyone, back to GDQ Hotfix and to Out of Bounds. I'm Helix, and Fruit Cup is unfortunately busy tonight, but we've still got some fantastic glitch showcase for you tonight. But yeah, I'm filling in for tonight. Hope you all are having a great Tuesday. Or Wednesday, if it's Wednesday for you by now. In the meantime, before we get started, I want to really quick shout out PAX West, because GDQ is in fact going to PAX West, and submissions are open right now until June 21st. Use !PAX in Twitch chat for more info. I'm going to be there. I hope to see you all there. Please give us some amazing runs. But with that said, Monopoly, floor is yours for this glitch showcase. Take it away.
Hi, I'm MisterMonopoli. I do Halo speedruns, mostly Halo 2, and today we're going to be doing a lot of glitches. Normally when I'm doing speedruns, I don't really have time to slow down and show everything, but we're not really doing a speedrun here. I'm just going to be showing lots of glitches. We'll start out kind of tame, just showing a little bit of Out of Bounds, but things are going to ramp up pretty quickly. We're going to be doing some wild things. If you're a fan of Halo, you know that Halo 2 has tons of glitches in it. But in the past few years, there's been a lot of new discoveries that have kind of broken open the game in a lot of weird ways. So even fans of old Halo glitches, I guarantee you're going to see some new things on this. We're going to start on the tutorial level here. Normally, you have to do this whole tutorial sequence, and some people argue it's not a level, but I'll do some exploring. Maybe I'll show you how it's a level. First thing's not too fancy, but we can start this shield test from outside of it. We're supposed to be in that. And while that's going on, I'm going to start exploring the space station here. Alright, might take a couple tries, but by running into this wall over again, you can offset your hitbox, and you can use that to pass through some other walls. If you do it right, you can break out of this room, which normally you're not supposed to be able to, and we're free. So this level is normally pretty small. You just ride some elevators and it does the tutorial section, but the whole mission is actually like rendered and you're able to move around. So this is normally space that you're never supposed to get to, but we can jump around. So this is the elevator we're supposed to be in. If you jump and crouch on it, you can trigger the dialogue and the game will think you're in it. So now we can progress the script so that we can beat this level. And we can jump up here. My jump. So I want to activate this gondola to start moving so that I can go explore the rest of the space station while that happens. There we go.
Alright, we've been here a minute and you've already blown my mind, and according to chat, their minds too.
Let's go. It's starting out tame too. It's going to get crazier on the next mission. Let's go visit space. So that elevator's moving. That's where you're supposed to be during normal gameplay for the tutorial. There's a bunch of exposition about what we're doing here in space or something. Also, it's in German because speedruns are fastest in German for the whole game.
My 2 years of German in high school will come in handy.
I've been enjoying playing in German recently. I just switched from Japanese because Japanese is also faster than English. But the German's been kind of fun because it has so many words that are similar to English. I feel like I can almost speak it at this point when I know what it's saying. It's been interesting.
Yeah, it was not too bad to learn for that reason. Not that I remember much of it.
Alright, so a little bit more exploring here on the tutorial. But now the train has stopped because we're too far away from it. If we hit the triggers from above the glass again, we can make it go all the way to the ending. So normally Johnson's supposed to be saying dialogue right now. You'll know I get the train moving once he starts talking again. Where is he? There he goes. And we can take a gander at the final area, which has some funny modeled marines. Oh, they're not loaded yet. Gotta keep Johnson moving.
Schon den ganzen Morgen treffen Schiffe ein.
There they are. You can't really see it very good because of the low graphics for this 2004 game, but those guys have like no faces, and these guys are doing funny animations. Alright, so now I'm gonna save and quit, and we're gonna put in a second controller, and we're gonna do some cooperative glitches, and some of these are quite crazy. Find a profile. I do a category called any percent for this game where I play both controllers at the same time. And there's a lot of speedrun tech you can do. I'm going to start out not doing speedrun tech, and we're just going to show some really cool out-of-bounds stuff. And then I will do some speedrun tech to also beat the level pretty fast.
There's a category where you speedrun this game on 2 controllers. That sounds like the coolest thing ever. How have I not heard of this?
I do about half the run with 2 controllers, and then it stops being useful, so I do the other half with single controller. It is a pretty fun category. I did it for one of the online GDQs. I think it was 19 or 20 maybe. I can't remember. It was. I had fun showcasing it. Okay, so I just betrayed my teammate there, and then I crouched in this corner so that there wasn't enough room to let him respawn. Then I restarted the mission when it was in that state, and that activated a glitchy respawn. So if now I delayed my teammate's respawn and I did this all properly, this might take 2 tries, sometimes I mess it up. But once Johnson places this turret on the ground, and if I did everything correctly, he teleported away. And where did he go? He teleported over here to what we call the default spot. Every map has a default spot, and so instead of spawning as a Master Chief, my teammate is now a turret. He's not Johnson, he's a turret. And we're gonna use that to do some more out-of-bounds stuff. We're gonna explore the space station with the turret. Another example of ghosting, where we bump into hitbox to go through a wall, and now I just damaged myself with my own battle rifle. That'll come in handy later, not right now. So used to muscle memory from doing that. So at this load zone, I will stand on this little ledge, and I will jump, and if I do it right, now the turret is way out of the map, which is useful because I'm going to use that to teleport back to him later. For now, I'm just going to clear this room properly. Is that everybody? You can look around, see space. He's actually stuck inside of a wall in the out-of-bounds space right now, and I'm gonna need to use that to teleport around the map. Now we do one more room the normal casual way, and then the more glitches will happen. For these rooms to progress, you have to kill these 3 waves of tubes. They go pretty fast though on easy. There are categories for speedruns to do easy and legendary, but I much prefer... I don't know, I was gonna say easy. I've been really on an easy grind recently, but historically I prefer legendary because it's like harder and more challenging. But for Glitch Showcase, there's no point in playing on the hardest difficulty for most of it. We'll be playing easy to show all the cool things. Alright, one more load zone. We walk until we get near this black spot, and we jump. And that should... Okay, good. Now we can have this guy... Stick myself instead. So now we're back at the start of the level, which normally you're not supposed to have access to this part of the level this late in the mission. This is all supposed to be blocked off. There's like anti-backtracking stuff that locks a bunch of doors behind you. But we've teleported to the start of the mission. And now we're gonna do a ghost again to get out of this area because we're kind of trapped in this room because you're never supposed to be here. We're gonna hit some more load zones. Trust me, this will all make sense. This is worth it. This is going to show off something that most people have no idea exists on this level. Dude, another load zone shenanigans thing. Good. Now we will nade ourselves one more time. And now we've spawned. So this is where my teammate is. He's inside of a wall. Normally this area is not loaded at all right now, so there's not enough room to spawn me in the wall next to him, so it spawned me above the space station. And as you can see, this is pretty much the same geometry from Armory that we were exploring. It's also on Cairo Station. Then we're gonna come over here and hit a load. I gotta remember where they are, because they're invisible. So there's actually a warthog on this mission. There was a cut sequence that they're supposed to see a warthog drive into this frigate, but they cut it and they made it invisible. So you can't actually see it unless you do some of the stuff I'm doing here. So there's part of it. Then we come over here to load the elites, or jump on this elite's head. That should hit the triggers. There we go. So here's the invisible warthog. Normally, you're supposed to be stuck inside of a wall and completely invisible. But we can access it. There's a warthog on this level. Can't drive it though. Well, unless you do even more complicated glitches, which I don't have time to show. Some of the glitches take many hours in this game. There's a whole community of people who dedicate a lot of time to finding complicated glitches like this. And also there's an elite in the floor. Alright, so now I'm gonna restart the mission and do some speedrun and stuff. Same glitch as before, I betray my teammate and then I stand in a spot that there's not enough room to spawn my teammate. So now I restart mission and it's glitched his respawn. So the next time he respawns, a glitch will happen. But it won't be apparent. So now the glitchy respawn has happened. And we're gonna continue through the level for a minute. Same ghosting trick as before. Now I'm damaging myself with my own battle rifle by doing the double shot button combination, which is RRX, but instead you press RRY. You can shoot twice, and if you shoot as you're switching weapons, it'll come out of your back pocket and damage you, which allows you to betray your teammate faster. So now instead of having to clear this room, I can spawn as my teammate. So instead of spawning as a turret, I'm going to spawn as Master Chief, but I spawned as myself, which spawned me on the other side of that door. Now I'm holding one controller, but as you can see, both players are moving. So both players are occupying the same body right now. And in a minute, I will separate them and show another cool glitch. But for now, we're going to clear out this room. You can actually separate them immediately right now, and in the speedrun I normally would, and I would skip having to kill all these guys. But for the purpose of showing a cool glitch, I'm going to just clear this room the casual way, and then show the cool glitch in a minute.
Oh, die verlassen die Athen.
Cortana, Lagebericht.
Die Explosion kam aus dem Innern der Athen.
So there's some weird, you can see like one guy melees, the other guy doesn't. You can also get some slightly weird like hand animations. Alright, let's continue. I did a melee cancel there off of the... Oh, I screwed that up. Okay, good. We got a checkpoint like right before. We didn't lose any time, don't worry. I forgot that you get teleported sometimes when you do that. I did a melee cancel and started doing too speedy of strats, and it decided to punish me and send me back to the start. That's what we wanted.
Genau das, was wir hier noch brauchen. Ein Haufen.
I'll try to look with the other controller so he's not just staring off in space. But again, both players are stacked inside of the same body right now. So it looks like I'm like using two controllers at one time, but really I'm just holding one.
Ich war fast an Bord, als die
Hey, kann das sein? Hat jemand die Eindringlinge schon verjagt?
Now we're just casually walking through the level the way the speedrun is done.
Sir, Eindringlinge im Feuerkontrollzentrum, die haben eine Bombe.
So this class of glitch where you take control of other people's bodies, like turning into the turret or turning into your teammate, we call it arbitrary unit possession. It was only discovered in the last couple years by me and a guy named Hark the Shark, and we've spent the last couple years spending literally like over 1,000 hours trying to research and figure out the intricacies of how to turn into basically every character in the game. So you can take control of anybody that spawns, including grunts, jackals, brutes, your teammate, the vehicles. You can like be turrets, and you can even turn into that warthog I showed earlier, and you can drive yourself around as a warthog. Some of them take dozens of hours to set up and perform, and some of them are very simple and just take a couple seconds. So I'll be showing some of the cooler ones during this run.
Die Bombe wird von einem ganzen Haufen Eliten bewacht. Sie werden sich etwas ausdenken.
There's a room in this at the end of this level called the cutscene room that if you watch the ending cutscene, you will like see Master Chief deliver a bomb. This was one of the longest challenges unaccomplished in Halo 2. People really tried to get into this room for over a decade, but using these new glitches, I can just make myself fall into this room by getting crushed by that piston, and then now my teammate is a dead body. So we've separated and we're no longer trapped inside the same body. One guy is not, and the other guy can spawn next to him. So now we've explored the cutscene room. But there's nothing to do from here. We're soft locked and trapped. But we've got a checkpoint, like right here. So now we'll beat the level and start up the next mission. And like that, we are done with Gyro Station. Any questions? I know.
I think my only question could be described as what?
Yeah, that's about right. That I discovered a lot of this, and that's still my response when I see it.
Nachrichtenschleife.
So I'm going to show some foreshadowing here. We're not going to talk about this for like 2 hours later, but I want to point out something that happens in this cutscene, and then we're going to forget about it until 2 hours from now. So during this cutscene, there's a scarab that fires guns, and it's the only time this particular type of scarab gun ever fires during the entire campaign. And you can see when it shoots a particular type of projectile. We'll come back and see that that projectile is a lie in a little bit later. They have lied to us in this cutscene. It is not what that gun really fires. It's coming up. This is also one of the coolest cutscenes in the game. Very iconic. Wait for it. This guy. So this is the scarab, and that's the main scarab gun that most people know about. And then that's the turret. So remember that turret. You see it's like orange little, or not orange, reddish like projectiles? That's what we wanted to look at. Just keep track, remember those for 2 hours later. And now, let's show some more of that arbitrary unit possession goodness. So I betrayed my teammate, I crouched in the corner so that it can't respawn,
Chief.
and then we restart the mission. I'll explain more of how this glitch works a little bit later on a later mission. It becomes a little bit more obvious, but basically we're just glitching the co-op respawn system. That's what you need to know about it for now. Now, I've respawned as a grunt. I'll give the grunt some weapons and he can have a good time. One of the cool things you can do on this level, you can just pull an oddball skull out of the wall. Normally this is supposed to take away your HUD and make you not be able to see your reticle, but by grabbing it from out of bounds, you can skip its effects and just give the grunt a skull, which normally they're never supposed to have. Also notice he's got orange arms and he jumps very small. Alright, let me go get another weapon real quick and we will have some fun with this grunt. Also, the Marines are shooting at him because they recognize him as an enemy. Whenever you turn into an enemy, you get all of the properties of that enemy. So the Covenant see me as a friend, the Marines see me as an enemy. but who could be enemies with a moonwalking grunt?
Komm zurück, damit ich euch fertig machen kann.
Los, los, los!
His animations glitch out if you pick up multiple weapons. Alright. Let's turn into something more speedrun now, and let's get out of this mission.
Chief, wir haben was zu erledigen.
Schüttelt es ab, Marines! Absturzstelle räumen! Los, los, los!
So first, I'm going to block this doorway with the trash can so that my Marines don't run forward. And then I'm going to scare this grunt away. Now with this controller, I will betray my teammate and do the same old crouching in a corner.
Chief, wir haben was zu erledigen.
Schüttelt es ab, Marines! Absturzstelle räumen! Los, los, los!
Block the Marines again. Scare that guy. And now we gotta hope that this grunt doesn't shoot at me, which looks like we got lucky. Good. So now you see this giant flying vehicle called a Phantom. Now you don't. That's because I turned into it. You can fly the Phantom. You can shoot the Phantom gun too, which is a weapon that normally you would never have access to. I fly up here. Park my teammate right on top of this rooftop for a second. Give him a little vantage point. We'll come down here and have some fun with the Phantom. So we'll spawn in the Pelican here, and we can run into it and even flip it upside down if we do it right. Oh, I didn't flip it.
Die brauchen tauglichen Geleitschutz.
If we flip it upside down, we can get all the Marines to fall out of it. At least one of them did, but I don't think all of them did. Come on, flip up. Are you upside down yet? We did it. There's a downed Pelican that normally isn't supposed to happen. And there's also an Easter egg over here that most people know about called the Rex Sword. I'll go ahead and pick that up from far away because the Phantom can just do that. So when you turn into vehicles, you're not piloting the vehicles, you literally are the vehicle. So I'll show that. There is an elite did I already flip him out? I might have already no, okay, he's in there. So there's a pilot who's also inside of this vehicle with me at the same time. And I can flip him out and I can show him. If I come over here and I flip myself upside down. Where did that elite go? I might have already flipped him out on accident when I was... Oh no, there he is. This is the pilot. He doesn't have AI because I've made him very confused. But normally this guy is the one flying that thing. So let's bring the Phantom to the second half of the level now. There's not enough room for the Phantom to fit into this hallway, which normally you're supposed to go through to load the next area. So if I go through with this character, whenever we hit the load zone, there's not going to be enough room on the other side either. So it's going to spawn the Phantom out of bounds. Normally when you're out of bounds in Halo 2, the game will kill you, but the Phantoms don't have death animations. So for a speedrun, I can beat this entire level in less than 2 minutes by just getting out of bounds like this and flying to the end. But we still have a little bit more glitch to show. So now I can spawn...
Is popping off, by the way.
Now I can spawn my teammate inside the tunnels here
Verwirrt.
and hit this load
Wir
zone.
haben uns hier wohl nicht erwartet. Keine Menschen. Nicht auf
And now
der
we're back in the tunnels. So a lot of people know about the Scarab gun, and it's on the next mission. It's one of the most popular Easter eggs in this game. But very few people know there's also a Scarab gun on this level. If I come over here and I activate through the wall a trigger to spawn the Scarab, which is a sequence that happens in the middle, we can steal the Scarab gun out of the air. Oh wait, I dropped it. Where'd it go? Wait, did it disappear? No, it disappeared because I dropped it. Oh, okay, we're going back. Fortunately, I said less than 2 minutes, and it is fast. I'm showing that dang Scarab gun for longer than 2 seconds. We'll get back. I gotta turn into a Phantom again, though. shoot. No. Okay, we're gonna have to... Hold on.
Chief, wir haben
I figured
was
this
zu
would
erledigen.
happen.
Schüttelt es ab, Marines! Absturzstelle räumen! Los, los, los!
So the reason that the enemies can't shoot is this is a memory manipulation glitch that requires the memory to be in an exact state to turn in the objects you want. If you shoot one too many bullets, or the enemies do, or they make a grenade, or if anyone does anything extra, the memory won't be in the correct state, and you'll either crash the game or nothing will happen. Alright, don't shoot at me this time. Good. Alright, now we're the Phantom again. We can do the speed run. This guy nades himself. Then he spawns over here. Do the out of bounds again. Really, I just wanted to show you guys flying more of the Phantom, because who doesn't want to see more flying of the Phantom?
Ich habe die Kampfgespräche der Allianz analysiert. Die sind überrascht. Verwirrt. Die haben uns hier wohl nicht erwartet. Keine Menschen.
Where's the load?
Nicht auf
There's
der
the
Erde.
load. Now we go all the way back here.
Aber warum die mit so
Do
einem
the same thing
Einsatz-
again. Alright, now we have the Scarab gun for ourselves and it won't disappear. So normally this gun only exists on the map for like 3.5 seconds and then it disappears. But if you're holding it, it won't disappear. Show a little bit of this destruction of a Phantom with the Scarab gun. This is not the way this game was meant to be played without mods.
No, clearly not.
And now I'll speedrun on to the next mission. So I mentioned there is a Scarab gun on the next mission that's very popular, but we're not going to show that one just yet. I'm going to save getting that one for a special way for later. So if you guys are expecting the Metropolis glitches, they will come, but not on this first run through. We're going to just show some smaller things first. Navigate these tunnels. Sometimes I like to play Initial D music because I feel like it's very fitting while drifting through these tunnels. It's quite difficult to fly the Phantom at these speeds because it has the same hitbox as the Phantom, so you have to like drift around the corners to go this fast. And we're on to Metropolis. So this level is most people's favorite level to glitch out of because there's just so many tall buildings and so many well-known Easter eggs. But like I was saying, we're going to save some of those for later. We'll come back and show those. For now, we're just going to drive across the bridge as a speedrunner. I'm hoping that a Banshee spawns and comes attacks the player on the right, because I'm going to steal that Banshee and show off something in this first half, though. There is a pretty unknown Easter egg in this first half of the level. I feel like not many people have seen it. So hopefully that Banshee comes over here. It should. There we go. See it. No, give me that. Now you get back here. Keep driving with the Warthog. I've gotten pretty good at manning 2 controllers. So it may be difficult to follow, but the guy on the right is who we're going to be want to watch. Alright, let's take this guy forward now. Yeah, we got one coming right here, so yeah, don't worry. see you guys in chat.
I did see someone in chat wondering if this will be uploaded to YouTube, and the answer is absolutely, along with all of our other Hotfix shows. So if you've missed any of the content from today, or really any time, you can check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick.
Nice. I need this Banshee to stay up here. Oh, stop shooting at me. So with some slightly precise jumping, you can land on this little ledge. And if I can keep my footing, you see there's no hidden texture, but if you zoom in, it says IOHBOY, which I'm pretty sure stands for I'm only here because of you. So shout outs to Twitch chat. I'm only here because of you guys. And now we will go complete the level. There is another lesser known kind of Easter egg that I'll show on the way to the end of this mission, and it has to do with the golden warthog, which unfortunately was a rumor from back in the day that isn't actually real. There's a sign on the Headlong multiplayer map that everyone knew about and thought was real, but there's also a sign for the golden warthog on this level. Very much unknown. So much less known that when they upgraded this game for Master Chief Collection, they didn't even upgrade this sign, the backside of this sign. There's also a logo down here that says Bungie Motorworks that you can't see on the Headlong version. So it's a slightly different version of the sign, which is very exciting for a handful of people.
I was gonna say, I love this kind of stuff. It's just so obscure, but it's so fun.
Let's do a glitch here. So you can do a glitch to board the Wraith quicker and put it... Well, we just died. Uneasy. I blew myself up. Oh, okay, we're not back that far. I thought we were going to be further. Well, I was going to do a speedrun glitch, but then the Marines came in while I was doing it, and they damaged us, and we all blew up. So, thank you for the help, teammates. They thought they were helping. I'll do the speedrun strat this time, though. If you throw a grenade as you board the Wraith, you can put a grenade inside of it without breaking off the top hatch, which lets you get a quicker kill on the Wraiths. And we'll quickly dispatch of these enemies. I'm gonna try to do a super bounce real quick, but if I miss it, we're just gonna keep going. There will be more super bounces to show later. A lot of you Halo fans will love super bouncing. It's one of the quintessential multiplayer glitches. It doesn't have nearly as much use in campaign, unfortunately, because when you go up, you come back down, and there's a fall timer in campaign that prevents you from coming back down too far. So normally when you super bounce, you just go up and then you fall and die. But on this section, if I do it right, I did it. Ooh. There's a scarab you can land on. Please don't make... Oh, it made me die. That's the come back down part. Sometimes you go too high when you do that. But we did see the super bounce at least. So now we'll have to board the Scarab the normal way. This is actually only like 10 seconds slower. Speedrunners like to reset their speedruns every time you miss this trick. There's a more consistent way to get on the Scarab that isn't a super bounce that can make you die. But I wanted to show the cool way. But the casual way to... Oh, we got Scarab deload. Well, there's a glitch that I didn't plan on showing, but that softlocks the level.
Oh, good.
That's fine. We can just start up the next mission. I'm actually kind of glad we got to showcase that. That happens because there's 2 Scarabs on the level. The first time that you see one, you will see it like walk over the buildings, and then the second time you see it blow up the tank. It's actually the same Scarab, and because the scripts from the first one apply to the second one, if you do speedrun strats but you lose a certain amount of time, there's like a 10-second window. If it happens within that window, the first Scarab will want to delete as the second Scarab wants to progress, and it'll delete the second Scarab, making it impossible to beat the level. Because the end trigger is tied to defeating that Scarab, not making it disappear. Now we can do some single player stuff though. I'll show some speedruns. If you betray your allies at the start of this mission, it saves 30 seconds of dialogue, and then you can do sword flying, which is one of my favorite tricks. You can hit the button through the wall to activate the elevator, saving time when I get over here. And now normally you're supposed to kill a bunch of enemies in this room, but it's a speedrun, sorta, so we're not gonna do that. Sometimes this takes a couple tries, it's a little inconsistent. It's very annoying when it doesn't work, but it's pretty cool when it does work. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you have to get exactly 11 bumps or it won't work. And even when you get 11, it doesn't always work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you might notice I didn't count every single time I hit the wall though, because not every bump actually counts. You have to watch the screen shake subtly differently. 1, 2. Is this one gonna work? Oh, come on. Let me get this trick. Oh, come on. Surely this one's gonna work. It's working and then it's making me die because this game is bad. Alright, this one should be good. No! How's that one not good? Alright, I'm giving this one more try and then I'm clearing the room casually. Alright, we'll do casual strats. It's only like 40 seconds time save, so it's not worth doing a couple minutes of that. In speedruns, I'd restart my speedrun when it doesn't work. There's a weird thing that happens that even if you hit the trick properly, which I was on some of those, if you're here on a bad cycle, the trigger to check if you should be killed by the out of bounds is active or not. So it's like, you have to play kind of frame perfectly from the start of the level to know what cycle you're on, and that's a little too difficult. So sometimes the map just kills you. It's actually one of the most annoying tricks in the speedrun. I end up resetting there a lot.
That's such a precise setup too. Like that's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, and it's especially annoying because 12 bumps doesn't work. So like you might think, oh, just get more bumps, it might be more consistent. Nope, it's gotta be 11. Alright, Where's the enemies? There. But at least I did kind of show the trick. You got to see like where it would put me. I'll show you where the exit point of that would have been if I landed it. All it does is skip having to kill those enemies, and then it spits you out right here in this next room. Right here is where I was falling through the floor at. So it's not that big of a time save, but for world record speedruns, you do have to hit it, and you do have to restart. Now we will continue through the hallways normally. And there's another fun glitch to show at the end of this level. I guess not quite normally through these hallways either. We have a sword. The sword's like the coolest weapon for speedrunning. You can swap the long-range reticle onto, like, from a different weapon, and you can swap it onto the sword. And that allows you to, like, do long-distance lunges when normally it's a close-range weapon. And you can use that to keep momentum for really long distances. Okay, we got this checkpoint, so I'm gonna go for this trick a couple times too. I'll probably miss it because it's basically frame perfect and a little bit random. But if I get it, it'll have a cool result. So we're gonna try it a few times. We have a checkpoint right before it. There we go, only took twice. Let's go. So this is the enemy boss that normally you would fight at the end of this mission. Stop shooting at me, guys. I'm trying to show cool glitches. Let's just get him on top of our Banshee real quick. Get out of that corner. Hey, stop that. There we go. Now we can fly with him to the end of the level. Sometimes I play Disney music during this section of streams. The heretic leader makes a very funny noise when you make him fall off of your Banshee. And now we're on Oracle. So I'll show some Oracle tricks, and we're probably not going to play this whole level because it's got some auto-scrollers on it, and I don't feel like showing all of it. But there are some cool glitches at the start that I'll show. So now we're doing more co-op stuff. Betray our teammate, hide in a corner, restart the level, and do it again. So now if I delay my teammate's respawn, and then I run back over here, we're a flood. So the flood are the zombies in this game. They jump really high. If you crouch as them, you can do the T-pose.
Good.
You can also go invisible, which normally you would never see Blood do. Whenever you're in this state, if you die, then you'll just respawn as a normal Arbiter, by the way. So it's only a temporary thing. And that's not the only thing you can do with this glitch. If I think I did this right. I should now teleport to the back rooms. Yep. Now we are teleported into the back rooms of Oracle. This is actually the door from the mission start. The default location for where it teleports you is this weird, very dark room with nothing really loaded in it. And we're also trapped inside of the same body, similar as I was doing as Master Chief. And that's all I plan to show on Oracle, because the rest of the level's got a lot of waiting and auto-scrollers. So we'll just start up the next mission. And I want to do it on Legendary, because we're going to be picking up something cool on this level. So, Legendary is the difficulty that skulls spawn on. Skulls are Easter eggs hidden in the game that give you special modifiers. Legendary is the hardest difficulty though, so I might die a couple times. Legendary is really challenging. But I also do legendary speedruns, so I'm pretty good at it. We might be able to make it through deathless. So this level is pretty notorious because it's got a lot of Jackal Snipers. The Jackal Snipers on Legendary are really, really good. I'll show you how good they are. I'll die on purpose. Watch how fast these guys are. Oh, he missed. That's actually... I'm making a fool of myself. They missed twice. Usually those guys are like instant headshot and you're just dead. And then I stand still and... Oh, that's what's supposed to happen. I think me standing still threw him off. But now we'll do the speedrun properly. There's a lot of Jackal Snipers, so we can load them in, which is required to beat this level, and then we can turn around and go the other direction. I'm gonna pick up this plasma pistol, because that's gonna help me do some glitches. And we just jump right out of the map. Some of these maps are super easy to get out of. We're already out of bounds. You just jump. And now we're walking through the trees. So that skips having to go all the way around the outside of this area, and it skips a bunch of enemies. Now we'll come back in bounds. I always think that tree looks like it has a face on it. You guys see it? I don't think that's an Easter egg. I think that's just me thinking it has a face on it. But
No, I totally see it. It took me like a second, but once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it.
that's how I feel about it. I see it every time I do this route. I come back in bounds. I'm like, there's the face. Alright, so I picked up this plasma pistol because if you overcharge it and then wait till it's halfway done overcharging, you can throw 2 grenades at the same time. So I just did a nice little ghost launch there. And then I went backwards to hit a trigger. Also, we're still on Legendary, so all of these guys will try to kill me. I've got to drive pretty well to not die. This is one of the more challenging spots. This spot is also random, how many ghosts spawn. And we did get an extra reinforcement, but I think we're good with only 1. And we're good. Alright, now we're going to pick up that Easter egg that we wanted. That's not how I wanted to throw that grenade. So this is the skull called the Envy Skull. It gives Master Chief the ability to go camouflage. I'll be using that on this level and some other levels in a minute. And now I'll do some sword flying. This is actually the speedrun route. If you watch legendary speedruns, people do this just as part of the run. I think it's a very impressive route. I like doing it. It's one of the cooler levels in the speedrun. You fly around the level, you do a bunch of sword flying. And we're out of the map again. We gotta come back in the map to hit this load zone. And then we sword fly to the end.
Sword fly looks extremely fun.
It's so satisfying when you hit the long distance ones. No! Okay, we did the level deathless. Except for the deaths on purpose. And now we have an Easter egg specifically for those named Ben in chat. This one's for you guys. No one else look. This is for Ben's only. There's 1,000 people here. Surely one of you is named Ben. Hi, Ben. And that's all I'm going to show on Legendary for now. That Easter egg shows up on all difficulties, but now I'm switching to easy because it's easier to show more glitches. That Hi Ben Easter egg was revealed by Bungie. It was one of the last Easter eggs found in this game. They put out a limerick on their website and told people, hey, there's an unfound Easter egg in the game. Here's how you find it. You jump from a gondola, and I can't remember the whole limerick, but it took people a really long time to find it because it only appears if you zoom in twice with the sniper. So So now I'm gonna try to get a sword again. It's a 1 in 5 for this guy up here to have a sword. We'll restart until we get it, because I do need that sword. One in 5. Surely we're not gonna get unlucky for an hour and 50 minutes, right? That would never happen.
On GDQ hotfix? No, of course not.
One in 5. I do have a backup if this fails for too long, but just statistically it won't fail for that long. It should happen soon. Come on. What are we at? We're at 4? I guess once we hit 5, we can officially say we're slightly unlucky. Oh, well, on the 5th try. 1 in 5. Stats is not a lie. Perfect math. You flip a coin twice, it's heads and tails once each. Everyone knows that. Alright, so we needed the sword to get on this gondola early. Normally when you hit the center platform here, there's a trigger that makes this gondola go away. And by using the sword, we can get on it early, which will let us continue the level. So it saved time to do that. And now we're going to try to do another pretty hard trick. So hopefully I get a checkpoint. Is it going to give it to me? Okay, good. We're getting checkpoints. So now I have to hit a pretty difficult sniper shot from all the way across the lake. But we'll have checkpoints so that I can try it again if I miss. In a speedrun, I need to hit this first try or else I can't really... Well, I mean, you can't get world record without it, but the current world record does hit this trick, and it saves like 35 seconds. So it's really annoying when you miss it. And we missed it. We go again. It should only take me a couple tries, sometimes 3 or 4, but I'm usually pretty consistent at it. We'll get it. Okay, I think that should be good. Yeah, that's good. But I missed my grenade. Okay, that's actually fine. So we'll be, normally I would do this faster for a speedrun, but I'm gonna intentionally go slow here. So the gondola launch happens whenever I snipe those hunters, it triggers the gondola to move in one direction, and then whenever I kill all these enemies, it triggers it to move in the other direction. If you time it just right, the gondolas will glitch out and slap you, and if you stand in the right spot, you can use it to launch all the way to this tower. Instead of launching the tower, I'm gonna overshoot it because it'll look really cool. Check this out. Wait, who's alive? Whee!
Oh, that's incredible. There we go.
Alright, I'll try to actually land it this time. I thought I had a better checkpoint, actually, but I'll hit the sniper shot again. Easy peasy. Easy trick. Oh wait, I didn't get dialogue though? Oh. Alright. I'll just continue casually. You've seen the launch. I don't feel like reverting again, but if you want to look up the current world record, it's on my YouTube channel. You can launch straight into that little ledge with it. But I don't feel like spending too much time to line it up perfectly. You've already seen it can launch you. There's actually a really cool sword fly I can do instead. This is one of the cooler sword flies in the run. It's very stylish. Normally when you sword fly at a target, you will go directly at it, but by lining yourself up precisely on this corner, we can do what's called a redirect sword fly, and instead of going straight at this turret, we'll go off to the left, and we can use that to land right up here on this ledge instead. That's slower than doing the gondola launch, but it is still pretty fast. It looks pretty cool.
der die Türme mit den Anlagen verbindet. Wir gehen da wohl runter. Außer ihr wollt schwimmen.
And now we can throw a cool grenade right here. Oh, I killed them all without looking. I got all of the jackals through the pod. Wanted to show it a little better. And here's one of my favorite things to do when I do speedruns. I'll allow this door to close on me. And then I'll talk about how bad the speedrun is, and I'm just going to reset, even if it's world record pace. Then I'll come over here and jump off the ledge. But you'll get teleported back into the pod here. That joke doesn't hit as hard when we're not really on a good speedrun. But man, that's a knee slapper, I'll tell you. Never gets old.
Ich habe eine sichere Übertragung vom Träger des Propheten an irgendwas namens High Charity abgefangen. Es scheint eine formelle Entschuldigung zu sein. An die Propheten der Wahrheit und der Gnade. Der Prophet
Now we're just auto-scrolling here.
hat etwas vorschnell gehandelt, als er die Erde angriff. Er bittet die anderen Propheten, ihm sein verfrühtes Eintreffen zu verzeihen.
Well, while we are on this auto-scroller, I would like to remind everyone in chat that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you enjoy watching speedruns or speedrun adjacent content such as this glitch showcase, please consider subscribing to the channel to support Hotfix. You can also join the official GDQ Discord and add the new Hotfix role. There you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff and showrunners such as myself, and more. Use !Discord and Twitch chat for more info.
Now we're done auto-scrolling, and now we're back to speedrunning. More sword flies to clear the map quickly. So this swordfly is pretty challenging because the enemies turn camouflage really fast. I didn't get it off in time. Dang. But there's a backup, and you can make them lose their camo. You can't swordfly off of an enemy while they're invisible. It loses the red reticle, and the sword has to be red to lunge. That's how the swordfly works in general, is you make the reticle red with the long distance weapon, and then you swap weapons and quickly cancel the animation so that you can lunge. And one more auto-scroller, because you gotta have back-to-back auto-scrollers. For some reason, they put two of these pods within, like, a minute of each other. There is a fun thing you can do. You can look for fish. Sometimes there's fish, and they will glitch and float right through the center of your pod.
That's amazing.
Oh, there's one. Get any more fish?
Something that chat has been asking, and that I have been wondering, is of course the age-old question of how do you find these glitches anyway?
Play way too dang much Halo. I've been doing Halo glitches since like 2002, starting with Halo 1, and there was a community of us that was a website called High Impact Halo, which doesn't exist anymore, but basically forums where everyone would just post their cool glitches, and where we'd challenge each other to do cooler glitches, and it snowballed where they all just, the more knowledge you have, the more you can think to try new things, you can challenge others to try new things, and over the course of 20 years since this game came out, we've built up a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, your knowledge of this game is incredibly impressive.
I've been doing this pretty much longer than anybody.
That's awesome. You love to see it.
Did I get this checkpoint? I did. I'm gonna hit this mountain cancel. There we go. Oh, am I off the map? No, we're on. Let's go. But even after High Impact Halo shut down, then the speedrunners came in. Like, speedrunning existed back in 2004, but it got way bigger in the years after. So the speedrunners start applying those glitches, and then they start challenging each other to make them useful in speedruns. But I like glitches even outside of the speedrun, so a lot of the stuff I'm showing isn't really useful. I just find it all incredibly interesting.
So do I, honestly, and that's what this show is about too. Like, it's not just speedrunning, it's just show us all the cool stuff that your game can do.
People often ask why you don't fly the Banshees on this level. The answer is, even if you get the pilots out, you can't drive them, unfortunately. I was gonna try to make it land on top of the gondola, but it flew away. Also, there's a pelican that's falling out of the sky. A little bit more left on this level. So possessions later in the mission are very difficult. So you can actually possess that pelican and the stuff late in the mission, like even regret. But like I was saying, it's a memory manipulation glitch. Every bullet that gets fired, every enemy that gets spawned, every grenade that gets spawned, every box, all of the objects will change the way the memory is set up. And so you have to do math and spreadsheets to keep track of every object on the map, including bullets. And it's really tedious to do the late mission things. So unfortunately I can't show some of the craziest ones, but maybe at the end of this run we'll show a crazy one or two. Maybe I'll pull out my spreadsheets. I think we might have time. Also, Regret drops a plasma pistol. This plasma pistol is Regret's. A lot of people don't know he holds a gun, even though he's in a chair. Now we're on to Sacred Icon. So I've talked before about how when you fall off of ledges in this game, the map will think you fell for too far and make you die. But if you come perfectly between two polygons, you can actually delay the fall timer and you won't die. This is a pretty difficult one. I'm going to try to make it all the way to the bottom. Oh, we're going to first try this. Oh, yeah. So now I have to wiggle back and forth, left and right while I do this. And we're going to fall for like 30 seconds here. It's harder to keep the momentum on this too than it looks. So I'm wiggling back and forth, touching this corner and then coming off of it. And this is slowing my momentum just enough to make sure that I don't die to the fall timer. As long as I keep it up for a little bit longer. Come on. Oh. Hold on. There we go. All the way to the bottom. Can't believe I just first tried that. That's actually really challenging.
Gosh. Wow.
That's where we came from, that little platform way up there. And this is what would happen if you don't do that trick. Here's how far you can fall. Now I'll go through and speedrun some of this level. There's a kind of interesting thing. So people are often surprised, like, they didn't put death barriers down there. And it's true, there's like not death barriers anywhere in this game. But for some reason, there's a really random one. Oh, hold on, let me get this grenade jump. This box actually makes the grenade timing different, which is funny. But, so this is just like a normal room, right? Like, anyone could come up here and explore, especially if you like jumped off of these ledges better than I did. There's just a random death barrier right here. Put that there. I could just fall all the way to the bottom of the map and survive, but there's just a random one there. I don't get it. Also, there's cool tube launches you can do for speedruns. Here's another interesting fun fact. This is the only time you can give jackals weapons. So normally a shielded jackal will never hold a carbine, but because they're your teammates, you can give them a carbine, which is a pretty cool looking animation here. He like spins his little shield while he does it. Give me that back. Imagine a shielded jackal with a beam rifle. There's not a beam rifle on this level, so I wouldn't be able to give him one. But it's kind of interesting. A little bit more hallways, and we've got more things to show.
Sie haben die Energiequelle des Schiffs erreicht, Gebieter. Überlassen Sie Ihre Reden. Hat keinen Zweck, eine Einheit auf die Minen anzugreifen, besonders wenn die Schilde oben sind. Bleibt in den Scherben die Energiequelle des Künstlers. Ihr setzt sie aus ihrem Gestell und greift das Biest von hinten an.
Boom. Also, this brute is faking it. He doesn't want to take part in the war. See, he's blinking. He's not really dead. He's faking. He's asleep. And now I'm gonna try to hit a cool long-range grenade. It's a little bit random because the position of this next enemy is random, but if he's in the right spot, I can hit a cool grenade on him to make this section faster.
Vorsprung da vorne auf.
Also, on the topic of faces, I always felt like this looked like a face too, like a little buck-tooth robot. I like giving him a little look.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Alright, there's the nade. That's coming right down on him.
Sie die Wand selbst, Gebieter.
Yeah, buddy. Speedrunner. There's invisible little locks here. I can't walk forward. I can't jump over them. Because I was so fast, I've beaten the animations, so I can't walk through these locks. In a speedrun, I would be walking up there on that ledge around this. I just thought I would show the little invisible wall. This is one of the only times in the entire franchise that the humans will show up as enemies. If you look across, you can see that they've got red reticles on the human allies, or the Marines. So I'm playing as the alien, the Arbiter, but you can see that's a Marine over there. I can try to go visit him. No. We try again, because I have a checkpoint. You need a grenade for this? You don't, right? Oh, come on. Forgot if you needed a nade. We're gonna get this. Come on. One more try, and then I'll leave it alone. You're not supposed to go this way. If I go the normal way through the map, he will die to like an automatic death barrier. Okay, there we go. Oh, he's gonna die as soon as I get here. Well, at least we gotta witness it. Normally, you can't get that close to them at all. They will fall over before you get there. But by jumping around that way, it keeps them alive longer. And this is not even an Easter egg. This is something just people don't really know about. You can jump down this tube. And down this tube, there's a rocket launcher. I want that, because I'm going to show another cool thing on this level in about a minute. Rockets. Very, very few people casually ever go down that tube. They will fight you if I left them alive longer, yeah. Alright, a little bit of boring walking, and then we will be at the end of this level. We do get some cool melee cancels, though. There's no swords on this level, so you can't sword fly through everything like you normally would on the other levels. So you're stuck doing regular nade jumps and melee cancels instead, which are... You can still keep momentum, but they're much less cool. They don't go as far. Alright, one final thing I'm going to show on this level is that there's actually parts where you're completely invincible. Normally in Halo 2, you're able to be damaged basically everywhere, especially on Legendary. They want you to have the risk of death basically everywhere. But there is one spot where you can be completely invincible, even to these rockets, which is why I picked them up. If I stand here, my rockets won't damage me. My grenades won't either. It's because these tubes that we're sliding down are normally, like, you fall too far when you're here. So because you're falling so far, people were accidentally fall timer deathing like I showed at the start of the level. To prevent that from happening, they just decide to make you invincible while you're doing this. And
Oh, yeah. I suppose that makes sense.
and that's all I'll show on this level. We're just gonna start up the next
All right.
mission. Is it break
While
time?
we're between levels, do you think this would be a good time for a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
All right, yeah. Thanks so much for sticking around for this glitch showcase, everyone. This has been absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, while we are taking this break, this is a great time to, stretch your legs, maybe go get some water. Do not click off the channel. We will be right back. In the meantime, while we are taking this break as well, go ahead, do me a favor, head over to youtube.com/gamesdonequick, press subscribe if you have not yet. You can catch all the hotfix VODs and, of course, other VODs from GDQ marathons there. Yeah, like I said, do not go away. We will be right back after just a little bit. Welcome back, everyone, to Out of Bounds. I am Helix. If you're just joining us, Kung Fu Fruit Cup is unfortunately not able to make tonight's episode, but I'm filling in. This has been an absolute blast so far. Mr. Monopoly, excuse me if I could speak, is doing a phenomenal job with this Halo 2 glitch showcase. And with that said, please continue.
All right, well, let's. Oh, I said we'll do Legendary, so let's do this next mission on Legendary. We've made it through most of the game. We've still got a few levels left, and I've got some special glitches planned for the very end. So, on Legendary, I'll show another skull here.
Fürchtet weder Schmerz noch Tod. Los, Gebieter, wenn die Verstärkung da ist, komme ich nach.
At the start of the mission, if you turn around and go backwards,
Vorwärts zum heiligen Symbol.
there is another Easter egg. This skull affects mass and physics. It makes explosions basically move everything twice as powerful, so you can do cool grenade jumps and stuff.
Vorwärts, Krieger, fürchtet
It's actually not that useful for a speedrun because it's so late in the run and there aren't that many places to like launch yourself this late in the run, but I will be able to show a little bit with it.
Weiter geht's, bin unterwegs.
Grab these rockets real quick. I dodged that ghost barely. That ghost came in real hot. Okay, can I get this checkpoint? No, they're gonna be next to me. Try the grenade jump anyway. Make it? Not quite. So normally one grenade would not send you that far, but I'm not gonna revert because I didn't get the checkpoint. It only saves like 5 seconds to do, but I wanted to land up above the mountain there. No, we'll just continue the normal route. It would have just landed me like right here. So it's not really much time save. Now I can do a cool rocket dodge though. Oh, I didn't dodge it properly. That was not the cool rocket dodge. Let's try that again. They're not shooting their rockets properly. I might end up getting hit again. Okay, no, we're good. Because I missed my grenade jump, the rocket guys were in a different spot than normal speedruns, so I couldn't show the cool thing. But at least I can get blown up again. That was just a quick out of bounds there, driving the ghost above the map. Saves a few seconds. And now you're not supposed to have a ghost in here. But there is an interesting enemy in this room. So most of the sentinels in this game hold sentinel guns. There's one sentinel in the entire game that has a needler. I'm on Legendary, so I'll die really fast. But you can see him. Needler there. They just messed up in the programming and accidentally gave him the wrong gun. Oh, we got picked up. That doesn't happen that often. Those enforcers have the ability to pick your ghost up. And when you're speedrunning, normally they don't snag you out full speed. That guy got me. I got. Nice little barrel roll. Oh, I kind of forgot we're on Legendary. This should be doing the Legendary strats, which is taking advantage of the active camouflage that the Arbiter has. And just sneaking past these enemies. Which is kind of funny that even though you're in a vehicle, you can get out and go camouflage and then drive past people. Doesn't actually make a lot of sense, but it works. You just get out, pop your camo, and then get back in. I'll be doing it again right up here, because these warthogs like to shoot you. But not if I'm invisible.
Guitar solo is popping off.
Yeah, this is one of the most epic guitar moments of the game. Steve Vai shredding it. Now I can perform one of my favorite magic tricks. And we'll make all of my friends show up. So, there's nobody here. And then if you slowly spin in a circle and you say the magic words, I don't know what they are, abracadabra or something. Wait for it. Wait for it. my friends. That doesn't do anything other than just look cool.
Die Menschen dürfen das Symbol nicht kriegen.
So you're not supposed to bring a ghost all the way through the mission, but if you do, you can kind of see it tumbling down the mountain right there. It's way off in the distance. That's the ghost I was driving. So this fight's actually pretty challenging on Legendary, and it's about a 5-minute auto-scroller, so we may have just had you take a 5-minute break, but we've got another couple-minute break here. But you can just hide above the level, and you don't have to fight anybody. I like to watch the elites battle the flood and guess which one will win. So get your predictions in Twitch chat. We've got the dual-wield guy, we've got the single-wield guy, we've got the needler guy, and we've got the sword guy. Who will be the last man standing? They're actually all going to lose. No, they will not win. The flood always win. But who will be the last man standing is the bet that I like to make. And this will take about like 3.5
awesome.
minutes.
Yeah, put your guesses in chat. Honestly, go down and put them in the YouTube comments, and then see if you were right. And hey, while you're down there making that YouTube comment, go ahead and like the video if you have not yet. Also, please subscribe to the channel. We would appreciate it. Those of you watching live, this is another reminder that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel, it all goes to help support Games.Coin Hotfix. So if you're enjoying the Glitch Showcase, if you enjoy the other near-daily Hotfix content, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's probably the best way to support Hotfix.
I'm not sure who won the Elite Derby. It seemed like a photo finish. 2 of them perished at the exact same moment, it felt like. It was a tie between, I think it was the dual-wield guy and the single-wield guy, but I'm not even sure. It happened so fast.
Looks like chat is saying that dual wielder won.
Get the YouTube commenters to go frame by frame and tell us their verdict. Who
Yeah,
really
exactly.
won? Let us know on YouTube. So after another 1.5 minutes or so of this, I've got a couple more glitches to show on this level.
I gotta say, this was an excellent selection by Conqueror Fruit Cup. This has been a blast so far.
Thank you. I've been having fun. I'm gonna turn on the lamp real quick. I just realized it's getting dark. We've got light now. Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do to speed this section up. There actually is a possession glitch where you can turn into this giant phantom, and you can fly through this area really fast. The problem is, it takes me about 40 minutes to turn into the phantom, and it only saves 5 minutes. So the trade-off isn't there yet, but maybe someday I'll be able to do it faster. That's one of my dreams, is to skip this auto-scroller. It's one of the last major things left in the speedrun that really needs a skip.
Die Menschen sind schon drin, Gebieter. Ihnen nach. Ich bewache die Verteidigungsstellung.
Alright, we're coming to the end. Gotta remember I am on Legendary, so I don't mess this up. If I mess this up, we would have to redo this whole scroller, and we're not doing that, so I'm not messing this up. So normally there's a sword fly trick you can do to sword fly over there a little bit early, but I'm gonna do a slightly different strategy because I don't want to mess it up and because I want to show a different glitch. So if you skip the load zones properly, whenever you come to this area, there should be... Did it work? Yeah, some floating SMGs here. Nobody's holding them. They're just floating and shooting. I'm gonna try to do something that you only get one attempt at. If you mess it up, you can't show the glitch. So I'm gonna try to do it properly. If I can position these guns to be in the cutscene, you can get a funny effect with them. So I've already messed one of them up. But where did it go? Okay. Bring it back. Okay, it's in an okay spot. I need to move it. I need this grenade to land just a little past it. Is that a good nade? Oh, that's a great nade. Okay, I think it might be good. Alright, we're gonna activate the cutscene. If this is just kind of random. If the SMG lines up and it affects these characters in the cutscene, sometimes you get a really funny cutscene. We'll see. I hear it. I think it's in a pretty good spot.
Erwischt.
Whenever the other characters show up, we'll see. We might not have gotten it though.
Wissen Sie, Ihr Vater hat mich auch nie um Hilfe gebeten.
Der Index ist sicher.
Mackenzie, Perez, sind Sie raus?
Where is it?
Hören Sie mich, Marines? Wir haben Probleme.
Come on, show us something funny. Oh, there's the SMG. Is it gonna hit? So we want it to hit the enemies whenever they show up, and I think it's in a good spot. You can see it firing in the background, so that's at least interesting enough. But I want the more fun. Show us the more fun.
Johnson, alles okay? Johnson!
So a couple brutes show up, or Tartarus does, and it should be like, oh, it's missing him. I was hoping it would be hitting this guy. He moves a little bit. We get one more opportunity to see. Oh, I missed him. Okay, so we didn't get the fun, but now we can show more glitches. So I picked up the Envy Skull on Delta Halo, which allows Master Chief to camouflage. If I camouflage and get a checkpoint, and then I save and quit, the game will remember that I have camouflage. To turn off the Envy Skull, you have to exit to the dashboard of the main menu, like of the Xbox. And then if you reload the save, that turns off the Envy Skull, but the game remembers that you were camouflaged. So now whenever I reload the mission, I'll be invisible for an entire level. And we are on Legendary, the hardest difficulty, and this is the hardest mission. But with infinite camo, it becomes trivial.
Oh, wow. Here you go.
And this used to be used in the speedrun, and I used it in my GDQ run back in 2014, 10 years ago now. But anymore, the time it takes you to exit to this main menu and look at these loading screens, it's now not faster to do. So even though it makes the level way easier, it's not used in the speedrun because it's just too slow to have to spend the time exiting out to the main menu like this.
Yeah, I was worried about that when you were starting to talk about it. I guess that makes sense.
Good old classic Halo 2 load screens. They don't make them like they used to. They go a little faster nowadays too, but what a classic screen this is. Now we can speedrun this level on Legendary and show a little bit more.
Je schneller man diese Brutes umlegt, desto besser.
So even when you fire your weapons, you'll notice that the enemies can't see me. That would normally break your camouflage on this level if you did it the normal way.
Der Dämon hat die Ratskammer infiltriert. Schützt die Hierarchen. Ausgänge verschließen.
Now I'll do a wave skip so that I have to kill even fewer enemies. If you divide this room into 4 quadrants, and you think about like the line that divides the room in half, if you stand on like any of the like right between the quadrants, then the room doesn't know which side you're on, and so it will skip waves of enemies because it tries to spawn enemies opposite you. Oh, I messed it up. So those are the guys we're trying to skip, the people that came out of this door. So I'm perfectly like in the center. I'm using a lineup to know where I'm at. There we go. So that skipped having to kill 2 brutes and 4 grunts. And then we'll do it again and it'll skip that many again. There's a couple places you can do it. I'll do the other lineup, because more people know this one. They're familiar with this one. And it's the other, like, quadrants that we're standing between. If I can make this guy show yourself. Thank you. So this one's a little bit harder to get into. I haven't done it in a while. Let's see. Can I get it? I think we got it. I used the lights up at the top of the room to line up. If we did it right, we'll hear dialogue.
Setzen Sie mich auf einer
We
der
did it.
Säulen da neben der Tür ab.
So that is useful even when you're not invisible, because it makes that room where you have to kill way fewer enemies. Normally this is like the hardest room in the entire game on Legendary.
Ich kümmere mich um diese Türen. Los, Wahrheit wird einfacher aufzuspüren sein, wenn ich im Netz bleibe. Gleich da lang.
Now we will continue to speedrun. This is one of the cooler speedrun levels though. There's a lot of cool tricks you can do. So those are just melee cancels where I'm getting some slight momentum with the melees. In a minute we'll get a sword and we'll really get flying. There's another really hard section casually that we're just going to completely skip. The prison section of this level is just as notorious as the start as being one of the hardest sections in the entire game. But you don't actually have to fight anyone there. With a trick I discovered in like 2016, we can skip the whole section. Almost there. So first we activate the lift, then we come around this way to let them do their thing. So if I time this right, as he's doing his little jump, if I get in his way and then make him punch at me, I can get under him. And now using the melee, I can melee and then cancel the damage so that I don't kill him, and then I'll jump. And if I melee, jump, and cancel all really fast, gotta spam the buttons. If you do it just right, you'll go high enough that you can reverse the direction of the lift and never have to go down low enough to have to do the hardest section of the game. And now we're gonna start zooming. This is one of the most fun sections in the whole run. For skilled runners, hitting all of these flies feels really good. If you time 5 crouches really quickly and hold the last one, you can keep momentum out of those lifts. So I missed that one, but we've got 2 more opportunities to try to show it. You have to spam crouch and then hold the last one, and you can slide pretty far. Come on. Another good sword fly. Please fly. Come on. Hit it. Sword flying is a pretty challenging button combo. You have to press Y, X, and then R in a very precise rhythm. It's like It's not exactly frame perfect, but it's a couple frames apart that the buttons have to be, and depending on when you hit them, you only have like 1 or 2 frames to do it. More sword canceling. Alright, I'm gonna get this crouch out. I want my momentum carry. It's only a couple seconds, but it always feels good to carry your momentum when you're speedrunning. Oh, I missed it again. Alright, we got one more opportunity to hit it. Can't jump.
System die Allianz mich und den Sender. Keine Sorge, ist alles ziemlich harmlos. Wir haben nicht damit gerechnet, dass eine feindliche Intelligenz ihr Netzwerk von innen angreift.
So with that sword fly, you've only got one opportunity before the grunts start running around. If they run around, then you won't be able to make it across. Alright, I'm hitting this one for sure. Alright, we got one of them. Very exciting momentum carry. More sword flying. This is a redirect fly, so I use this edge that's in front of me to the right to redirect me off to the left. And that will help me land up here on this ledge instead of flying towards that brute. That one's more precise than the other ones. More sword tricks.
Wenn wir den Propheten fangen wollen, müssen wir eine Abkürzung nehmen, quer durch das Mausoleum. Sehen Sie das mal
Nice.
Video. Momentan scheinen sie mehr daran interessiert zu sein, sich gegenseitig umzulegen.
Sie sollten erwägen, einfach nur abzuwarten.
And just like that, we have beat the hardest level in the game on Legendary.
Einen Moment, ich empfange 2 weitere Transponder. Es sind der Commander.
Couple more levels to go.
Sie nähern sich der Position des Propheten, Chief. Sie brauchen Ihre Hilfe.
Alright, well done.
Das ist nicht gut. Ich erhalte bestätigte Berichte, dass die Flood das Wrack der in Amber Clan verlässt. Wir sollten den Index holen und einen Weg hier raussuchen, bevor es wirklich ungemütlich wird.
While you're finishing that up, I would like to remind everyone that prize submissions for SGDQ are open until June 16th. And of course, SGDQ is coming up at the end of the month. So if you are crafty and would like to submit a prize to the event, go to gamesdonequick.com for more information.
Alright, we're going back to easy now. That's enough Legendary. It's easier to show the glitches on easy. So there's a lot more sword tricks on this level, but there's a couple of cool things I'm going to show once we get to the end. Sword flying, as you can see when you're speedrunning, is kind of the bread and butter of how you... Any map you can get a sword on, you pick it up and you just start using that to go fast. I'm kind of nailing my flies right now. I've been playing for like 25 days in a row on my stream, so I guess it makes sense I'm warmed up. I've been grinding.
Yeah, that would do it.
Been grinding really hard to try to beat and improve the easy world record. I finally got it like a week or so ago, but I'm not quite happy, so I'm still grinding.
Well, congrats, and yeah, good luck.
Alright, here's another one of the cool glitches I want to show. If you lunge at the same frame that you get in a ghost, then you can get rid of the fall timer. That thing that was preventing me from falling off the maps before, now it no longer affects me. I can just boost the ghost off the edge. And you can do a little bit of exploring here. So this is actually the final mission. You can't skip ahead, you can't go fight Tartarus, unfortunately. But you can explore what would be the map for the Great Journey. But we're not going to spend too much time doing that. Instead, I'm just going to beat the level. Nail in the sword flies still. Feels good. So normally when you do this level casually, you're supposed to take a ghost and go all the way around this way and look back around the map and then come back around this way. But instead, if you go above the level, the end trigger exists really high. You're supposed to end the mission right down here, way below me in there. But if you just crouch right up here, the level will extend. And now here comes one of the more complicated tricks in the run. You know, actually, I'm going to put in a second controller for this so I can show it from the third-person perspective. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense only from first person. Let me bring in the second guy. He's not actually going to help or do anything. He's just going to watch. I'll show another trick here too. I was talking about super bounces. We did one super bounce on Metropolis earlier, and we just went straight up in the air and came back down and died. But this one actually has a use, so I'll try to land that. You crouch under here, you offset your hitbox. Then if you come over here and you land on the spot just right. Oh. We try again. There we go. So we've landed all the way up here on this ledge, and we don't have to worry about falling down. There's this door that leads to nowhere. It's just a solid wall. This is actually where you start in the cutscene for the introduction of this level. You come down this elevator. But here's another example of why super bouncing isn't that useful. You can't even get down from here easily. If I fall this distance, it's too far, and I will fall to my death. But now let's show the cool way to beat this level. So let me get this guy in position over here. This guy. So I'm going to bait this flood to come towards me towards the edge of the map. And similar to that trick I did on Gravemind, where I put an enemy on top of my head and then I went straight up, now we're going to put an enemy on top of our head and we're going to fly a really long distance. And on Gravemind, it's actually really easy because you're in a tube and you can't accidentally like go anywhere else except up. But for this one, okay, let me jump off the level with this guy. And now, so the place I'm trying to go is over there. It's really far away. It's around the front of the building and down below the fog layer. So I'm gonna put this guy in my head and do like a series of like hundreds of really precise inputs here. So I'm pressing B, A, and X, and I'm moving backwards. You can only look straight up while you do it, and if you miss any of the inputs, then you will melee the flood off your head and you will lose the trick. So I know where I'm going because I can like, I've done it enough that you can steer, but you can only move backwards while you do it, so you just kind of have to learn. So right now I'm falling straight down vertically, and once I'm in a good spot, I will start going horizontally again. So now we're moving horizontally, and I'm trying to float around to the front of this structure. Once I'm lined up to the front, we will be above the ending trigger. The ending trigger for this mission just exists floating off in space. Normally you have to go through the interior of this building and do a whole bunch of fighting and a whole bunch of lifts and do a whole like mission. But if you just touch the end trigger, similar to Uprising, that last mission, you can just end the level. But there's no floor and there's no wall around the ending trigger. So you have to fly to get there. And the way we fly is to put an enemy on our head and literally fly over there. We call this butterflying. I'm not quite in position yet. It's also harder to line up when I'm in co-op. I don't normally do this in co-op, but I thought it would look cool to show the third-person perspective.
Yeah, that's a good call. It's definitely helpful, and it seems like chat enjoys it as well.
Definitely made it harder, but I think I still got it. This is the hardest trick that's used in like the entire speedrun franchise. But it's also very skill-based. It's not really RNG. So fortunately, if you practice it enough, you can get pretty consistent at it. Almost there. There we go. And the mission ends. First try, easy every time.
That was absolutely incredible. Great job.
I'm pretty happy that I got that first try. Especially co-op, I don't normally hit it every try, so that's cool.
As you should be.
And now I'll go back to single player and we will start the last mission. But this isn't going to be the very end. If we still have some time at the end, I'd still have some more complicated glitches to show after we make it to the end of this game. I think we'll still probably have a little bit of time.
I mean, you've been given 3 hours and we're only at about an hour 40 in, so we should.
Oh, well, yeah. I will be able to show some cool complicated glitches then. I'll be able to break out my spreadsheets. We're gonna count to 250. It won't take that long, but
I love spreadsheets. Let's go.
We're gonna do some counting. I'm gonna do the other speedrun strat actually. So I did do a instant nade there to destroy the Wraith, and normally you would do the other Wraith the same way, but I'll show, for Legendary, a lot of people, there's a way safer way to do it. If you go near that door and then leave, you make the game think that you're in the next area, and then if you go far enough away, because of the cleanup scripts, it'll just delete the enemies so that you don't have to fight them yourself. So that's a pretty cool. It's not the fastest way, but it's a pretty safe way to beat this level. Now we will do some speed running through the halls here. You're not normally supposed to bring a ghost in here. This driving's pretty tight. Kind of nailing it. I'm zooming. For this room, you have to kill 3 enemies for the next door to open. Once you do that, the door opens and you can progress. Now I'm gonna try to line the ghost up in a specific spot to do a cool ghost launch. So during this cutscene, the scarab will move like right in front of you. If I park the ghost to where the scarab wants to move, I should be able to launch it to the moon. You can see it flying away over there. I'll revert, show it again. Oh, well, my checkpoint's right there. But there it goes. That's my ghost. And there's
very good.
There's another little thing here that's kind of challenging, but I think I got a pretty good checkpoint for it, so that's good. If you stand in the correct spot here... Did I get him? Didn't get him. There's actually an elite pilot inside of this scarab turret that controls the turret. It's not Johnson, it's an elite, and he's inside of this. If you come up to it and you hold X, you can force him to get out. I might have already messed it up on this checkpoint, but I don't think I have. We got a pretty good checkpoint for it. I can try it a couple times. Oh, there he is. Wait, was that him? No, that was my Banshee. Was it? Did I see him? Okay, no. So that's what the scarab normally does, is it charges up and it tries to shoot it. There's 3 wraiths over there. If you get in the eye just right, you can get the pilot out, but it only exists for like a couple seconds window, so you have to time it kind of precisely. I won't spend too much time on it because it is pretty precise. Did I get him? Oh, there we go. We got him. Aha. So now the scarab gun won't fire, and instead this guy fires, because he's scripted. This is just a turret. So the whole scarab itself is a walking piece of scenery with a turret attached to the front. And this is the pilot of the turret. So now he thinks he's trying to destroy the wraiths. He's not doing a very good job. Some other glitches I haven't shown. You can actually hold 3 weapons in this game. Not just dual wielding, but like 3 primary weapons. With a precise button combo, I now have a brute plasma rifle, a beam rifle, and a plasma pistol. You can do it again to even get 4. Now I have a beam rifle, plasma pistol, a brute plasma rifle, and a regular plasma rifle. The button combination is kind of weird. It's Y, left trigger, hold Y, tap Y, spam Y. So it's a bunch of pressing the Y button, but it's pretty precise of how you like hold and spam it. And now we will continue the level.
You have been teaching chat new things for the entirety of the showcase.
Good. That's why we're here. There's another Easter egg right here. If you're clearing this section on foot, it spawns you additional vehicles. They're a different variant of vehicle. So these are the normal Banshees. There's Heretic Banshees on this level as an Easter egg. Wait, did I forget my Spectre? Is my Spectre here? Did it get blown up? No, it got blown up. No, I wanted to clone Johnson, but I'd have to replay the level to do it. We're not going to be able to clone Johnson. There's a fan favorite glitch where you can have multiple Johnsons, but unfortunately my vehicle blew up from the start of the level, so I won't be able to show that. That feels bad. But we can show the Heretic Banshees. I'm gonna see if on revert if my... No, it's not. Okay, my checkpoint isn't good. Wait. Yeah, no. Unfortunate. We can't show the Johnson cloning without replaying the whole level. Actually, we're doing it. Slow. I'm a speedrunner. It's only 2 minutes to this point. We're redoing it. We're showing it. People want to see it. We got time. We're just speedrunning the level.
We do in fact have time. Go for it.
Everyone loves the Johnson cloning. So what happened was these guys blew up my Spectre. The Spectre has to stay intact throughout the rest of the level. So now it's there. It should be good. We will speedrun the level. So instead of deloading, then this is the way you would kill the wraiths here quickly. Out of my way. Deja vu. We've already been here. But we're already almost back to where we were. So now instead of blowing up those wraiths that I did with the Banshee a bit ago, if you go backwards here and you hit this load zone, and then you go forwards, the drivers will despawn and you won't have to kill them. And now the Scarab will continue on his walking animation. So now hopefully our Spectre is there this time, and we don't have to replay this level a third time. It should be. It should definitely be there. There we go. So there's other specters here too. These actually don't work. These are like enemy specters, and this specter is coded differently. It's like an allied specter. It's the ones that your teammates spawn in at the start. So if you're trying to clone Johnson yourself, make sure you use the one from the start of the mission and not one of the brute ones, or else it won't work. Now we'll bring the specter all the way to the end fight. You're not supposed to bring this into the final fight. There's a overlap, so normally you're supposed to go through the door that's up there, but the trigger actually extends over there and overlaps through the wall, so we'll be going in through the back door.
Hardly surprising at this point. You spent a long time today bringing vehicles places they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, that's a lot of Halo 2. The Spectre can like basically climb like 90-degree walls. This vehicle's crazy. The other vehicles are bound by the laws of physics, but this one just doesn't care. Except it does front flips. Doing some acrobatics here, climbing up the wall. And now we wait. So if we would have been on the same checkpoint where I got the pilot out of the turret would actually not fire at this door. This door is scripted to explode regardless, so it wouldn't soft lock the level, but you'll notice a green beam will come out and blow up the door. The beam isn't actually what blows up the door, it's just scripted. Scarab's almost to the end.
Weg von der Tür! Hey, Mistkerle! Talk, talk!
So once it fires its blast, that's when I know the trigger's gonna be active. So we can park the Spectre like this. Oh, actually that's not a very good park, but hopefully this works. So that activates the trigger, and then my Spectre should come in behind me. It did. Very good. So for this fight, Johnson is a necessity because if you don't bring your own beam rifle, you can't lower Tartarus' shields. Tartarus is the final boss of this game, and he's got a special shield. The only way to damage him is to first have him shot by a beam rifle, and then you can like lower his shields and deal damage. So if the map thinks Johnson doesn't exist, which when he's in a vehicle it like loses track of him, it'll spawn you an extra Johnson. So now we're just gonna wait for the map to realize Johnson's here in the passenger seat, and it should put one in the turret immediately. If I did it right, hopefully. Where are you? Oh, there he is. There's two Johnsons, and also a third is right here. I gotta skip where if you park in a specific spot and he gets in at the same frame he spawns, you actually get extra Johnsons. So now we've got 3 total Johnsons. And if we wait a little longer, we will get another one.
Halt mich nicht hin.
Where's our next? Nope, there's another one. And you can actually clone even more than this, but you need more vehicles or a little bit more time to do it. So we'll just take our Johnson army to Tartarus and make sure Tartarus has a bad day. So when you beat the level, normally unskippable cutscene plays. But if you crouch at the bottom level, you can die. So I'm not going to watch the cutscene because I don't want to watch all the credits and waste all that time. And that is all of the levels of Halo 2. But that's not all of the glitches I plan on showing. We've got some more stuff I plan on doing. Let me get out my notes here. Alright.
Oh yeah, you've got plenty of time still. There's actually still an hour until you reach your given time threshold, essentially.
I can
so.
fill it. I've got.
I'm down. Let's go.
Stuff to show. All right, let me turn.
I'm having a good time. Chat's having a good time.
Let me turn back on some of those skulls that we had from earlier. I want to get the Envy Skull back. The Envy Skull gives Master Chief camouflage. I have a checkpoint for it. So if you noticed, I had a bunch of checkpoints there. Some of them were named like the different names of the skulls. The way that Halo 2 Classic works is if you make a new profile and then you play through that point and save that checkpoint, then you can just make a new profile, and that the old one that you had will always be at that checkpoint. So I have like dozens of checkpoints saved for different glitches and different setups. So this will just automatically be right next to the Envy Skull, so I can pick it up really fast. Instead of normally you'd have to play through the whole level on Legendary to get to the end to pick it up. It saves a bunch of time, even though you have to sit in a load screen. So now we've got the Envy Skull. Now we will go to quarantine zone. Oh, let me... I'm not messing with that profile. So we showed that possession glitch before, and I didn't explain it like that well. I'm going to go into some detail about how exactly the arbitrary unit possession glitch works here. This is the level where I can show it very clearly, and I can explain it with more visuals than when we were on the other levels. But we gotta wait at the loading screens. Halo 2 Classic does not load that fast. You don't really notice it when you're playing through the game as full game because it does some loading magic where as you're nearing the end of the level, it starts to load the next level. But if you like skip around like I'm doing and play the levels out of order, then you have to sit through these long loading screens.
That makes sense. I'm a Super Monkey Ball 2 runner, for those who don't know, well, Monkey Ball in general, but Monkey Ball 2 ends up doing the same thing, so it's interesting that this game does something similar. I guess it makes sense.
Is that GameCube that system's on? Or
yeah, GameCube. I could talk so much more about that, but this is about you, not me.
I think the fans will have a chance to see some more Super Monkey Ball on the 14th. I think I saw on the schedule, though. Tune in for that.
They will, and that is in fact my show, Parallel Universe. That's all about custom content, so we're talking custom levels, mods, and assorted things. But I see that the level has loaded.
Yep.
So go on ahead.
So all of these arbitrary unit possession glitches have started with me betraying my teammate and then like hiding in a corner. So if you look, the text on the right says waiting to respawn teammate in combat. If I then put myself, so I've stopped delaying the respawn and it's now trying to create my teammate, but I'm crouched in a corner in such a way that there's not enough room to spawn my teammate. If I then start slashing my sword again, it'll go back to delaying the respawn. But the memory now thinks it was trying to create a teammate for me, but there was no room for it. So it just stores them as a temporary placeholder off somewhere on the map. We call it the default location. Every map it's in a different spot, but on this map it's very conveniently located near the start. So this little floating blue light here is actually my teammate, but he's invisible and he's like just preloaded waiting for the second that I stop slashing my sword. It'll stop thinking I'm in combat and he'll teleport and spawn next to me. So with the existence of that little blue light, you can do some more glitches once you know about its existence. So we'll do the same thing here, and we'll show a little bit more. So I block my teammate's respawn, and now I'm delaying him from respawning by continuously slashing the sword. If you manipulate this character before he spawns by like pushing him off the map, for example, the death barriers still affect him as if he's a character, even though he's invisible. So when he falls down there, he's now dead, but he hasn't respawned as my teammate. So now he'll respawn as a ragdolled physics body. So this ragdoll physics can then be launched to below the map, and you can use this guy to explore. Well, if my grenades don't fall through the map, you can use him to explore previously unexplored places. Is he gonna make it? Yeah. So there's not much to do down here. It's just kind of lame. But previously we'd never been able to get down there without mods, so now we can. If I send my live character down there, he will spawn down there, and he will just die and then die. But that's not the end of this glitch. So once we figured out the existence of that preloaded biped, we also found, with the help of Dr. Biz, he's a longtime Halo glitcher, we found that if you restart the mission, now the game still remembers about the preloaded guy. So if I betray my teammate again, and then I line up the memory so that there's something else in that memory location that isn't a teammate, instead of spawning as a teammate, I'll spawn as an enemy. So now, if I delay it, that enforcer just spawned, and now I can fly. So this isn't really useful for speedrunning, but this was actually the first arbitrary unit possession we discovered, which turned out to be one of the coolest, because we are a giant flying vehicle. You can shoot its weapons. It has a rocket launcher that has infinite ammo. It also can, well, once it stops doing this, it can do its melee animation. It's a little bit buggy, but it can go invisible, which normally you would never see in the normal game. And you can also shoot the giant needler gun. Is it going to let me do that? Come on. There we go. So it's got a giant needler, which this gun was a rumor of a pick-upable weapon for a long time for long-term Halo fans, but it turned out to just be a rumor. But now it's real. And it also has a little blue laser beam. You saw it there briefly. That's a third weapon that this guy has that most people don't know exists. See if I can show it again. There's the blue laser beam. It doesn't even have like a full projectile. You can only see it like when it hits something. You can also use the enforcer to try to crush these ghosts. They don't like to let you fly over them, but I can try. Gotcha. So as I was talking about setting up the memory, depending on how many objects you create, so I'm going to betray my teammate in a different way this time. So I just betrayed him and he dropped a bunch of grenades. Then I betray him again and I throw one grenade. So now the memory is in like a completely different state than it was the last time I did this. So if I now create the placeholder, he's in a different spot in memory. And then I restart mission. This will allow me to change what I turned into. So I did the math and I just happened to know how many objects I need to create. So instead of turning into an enforcer this time, I've now turned into a sentinel, which is like the tiny version of the enforcer. So some of these are really easy to do, and some of them are very complicated and require like a whole lot of math and setup. But this one's pretty fun. You can fly and you can completely explore the out of bounds of this map. Generally getting to the top of this level is very difficult, but as a flying character, you can just fly on up there. Almost there. Even flying straight up, you see this is a very long distance. People actually have gotten on top of here using just grenades and like the physics of the game, but now it's easier than ever to just straight fly up here. And we're at the top. Also, the Sentinels have a crouch animation, which is kind of cute. They can go invisible. And they can also melee, which is kind of surprising. And they can pick up other guns. I showed earlier in the run a Sentinel with a Needler. But have you ever seen a Sentinel with a plasma pistol? Alright, that's all I'll show on this level. We got more stuff to turn into, though. Now I want to start. First, I will get the Sputnik skull.
Vorwärts, Krieger! Fürchtet weder Schmerz noch Tod! Los, Gebieter! Wenn die Verstärkung da ist, komme ich nach! Enforcer! Zu den Fahrzeugen! Wir brauchen ihre Geschütze! Vorwärts! Zum heiligen Symbol!
Now we're gonna start back up on the Great Journey. You can turn into Cortana. I have it on my YouTube channel, but the setup is too complicated to show in the next hour, so I won't be able to show it. But you can turn into the holograms, you can turn into every vehicle, every biped in the entire game, including the Heretic Leader hologram. You can turn into Tartarus and wield his hammer, which also takes a very long time and I won't be able to show. But I will show a really cool one right here on Great Journey.
While that's loading, I do want to quickly shout out to our annual Juneteenth celebration. That'll be this upcoming June 22nd and 23rd, and you can use !Juneteenth in Twitch chat to check out the schedule. It'll be a great time. I've seen the schedule. You should definitely tune in.
You can also turn into Regret, but as I was saying before, the things very late in the mission are very hard because you have to keep track of spreadsheets and stuff. I do have a spreadsheet for this next one I'm going to do, though. So for this one, I had to account for every object on the entire map because what we're turning into is pretty late in the map. And I'm also doing a different kind of AUP called Overflow AUP, where I'm going to overflow the memory to reset it back to where it was. There's an internal value that counts up to 32,000. And once it goes, like, it doesn't count to 33,000 though. Once you go that high, it wraps back around to 0. So by using that, I can change the memory to spawn as even more complicated things. And this one will take a little bit, and we are going to have to count a little bit, but it'll be fun. First, I need to get that guy off the map, and then I need to make sure this guy doesn't drop any grenades. You gonna drop grenades? Don't do it. Oh, I dropped grenades. Don't do it. He did it again. It's like 50-50 whether or not he'll drop them. Okay, there we go. Now I got it pushed half-jaw off the map here. Right, he's gone. So now I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to create a spot so that there's not enough room for my teammate to respawn. I'll do that by parking the Wraith in the corner here. And then I will crouch under its wing. I'll take this Spectre and I'll park it on top to make a little house. Now, hopefully, when we jump off the map here, it does not spawn my teammate. Good. And that is the first step. And now we do some of this again. Good, he didn't drop grenades. Get off. Okay, so now I want this guy to jump off the map, and then this guy will delay his respawn until I create the next thing. If I go far enough forward, the ghost will spawn. And now my teammate is a ghost. He's not piloting the ghost, just like the Phantom, he is the ghost. I can't really show it right now because I gotta continue forward and do the rest of the glitch, but we'll take a look at the ghost in a minute. Funny enough, there's a brute in the ghost right now, and I'm just taking him for a ride. So the reason I want to turn into the ghost is that the enemies do not recognize me as an enemy. So I can come in here, I can spawn all of these guys, and I know exactly how many things are spawning. So there's 4 brutes and 2 wraiths, and the wraiths take up 8 objects on the object memory table, and the pilots take up a spot, and the brutes take up a spot, and their weapons take up a spot. And I did a bunch of math, and I did all the counting, so that also this phantom takes up 8 slots. And after I added up everything that exists on the map, I came up with the numbers that I need to do to turn into the thing that I want. But first I gotta get the pilot out. So that's the ghost driver. And now we will continue with this other guy. So we have to make sure that nobody shoots. If anybody shoots an extra bullet, then the whole glitch will not work. So I need to hide from this phantom for a minute. Make sure he's not shooting. Good, he's deleted. Park this specter here for later. And now I can look at this ghost, which doesn't have a driver, but can go invisible. Ghost. So now I've got a guy driving and a guy piloting. The guy who is in the driver's seat doesn't actually have control.
Ich bleib hier und pass auf, dass keine Verstärkung reinkommt. Dann hol ich den Kreuzer zurück.
So now I want to create 32,000 objects, but that would take a really long time. It actually takes about 40 minutes if you have an infinite SMG to create that many bullets. But instead, if you hit this load zone, and then you hit the next load zone, it creates 255 objects, which just happens to be a computer science number, and it's a coincidence. But if I then... Oh wait, it's 128 actually. It creates 128 objects. But 128 times 255 will get me to my 32,000 number that I want. So now we're going to start counting. And hopefully I don't lose count, because if I count one too many or one too few, it won't work. So it should only take like 3 or 4 minutes, but we're going to count to 253. So here we go. 1, 2, hold on, let me line this up better. 3, 4, still not lined up good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Don't worry, it goes fast. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, nice, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 5, 6, 7, 58, 59, 60, 61, 2, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 1, 82, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 200. 50 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 4, 5, 6, 7, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3. Alright, that wasn't so bad, guys, was it? That was fine. There's nothing more nerve-wracking than counting in front of 1,000-something people, though, I'll tell you that. I was sure I was gonna mess up. I hope I didn't mess up.
I had a stupid grin on my face the whole time, but I didn't dare interrupt you, though.
Alright, we're almost there. We're almost to the cool part. This isn't the finale either. We've got more cool glitches coming too. We gotta do a few more steps, and then we will turn into the thing. So now I gotta do some grenade jumps out of... Oh, well. Glad I planned for that. So, that grenade just went through the map. If I didn't plan for that, then that could have been the end of the glitch. But I do plan for it. I hope I didn't do 252 because I need 253, dang it. So I blow that up. Now we jump on down. Throw one more grenade. Now we have this guy throw his 4 grenades. Now we come get in the Spectre. now we go back to the little house that we made at the start of the mission, and then we will hope it worked. If I counted wrong or anybody fired a bullet, then literally nothing will happen, and I will look like a fool for counting in front of you for the last 10 minutes. But if it worked, then hopefully the cool glitch will happen. I'm pretty sure I did it right, though. I think we did everything right. So, remember like 2 hours ago when I said we were going to watch that cutscene and it was going to be relevant 2 hours later? That was this plan, so hopefully it's relevant 2 hours later.
Oh, I do remember that.
Alright. We're almost there. We gotta make the little house, make sure everything's lined up in there. Now we jump off the map and restart the mission. Here's the moment of truth. So hopefully he does not respawn. Good. Now we restart the mission. Oh, please. Let's go. Alright, it worked. So that's my teammate way over there. You can't really tell what he is, but he's shooting a type of scarab gun that none of you guys have ever seen. Even in that cutscene that we watched 2 hours ago, the scarab gun does not fire that correct gun. They use like movie magic to make it shoot a different gun. This is a projectile that you never see fire in all of Halo 2. It's a different type of scarab gun. I am a scarab turret. I don't actually have control of my character. I just get to roll around. So it's, you just kind of at the whimsy of the level here. But I can bring him through to the next part of the game. And this is actually one of the only ways that I know how to consistently crash Halo 2. For all of these crazy glitches I've been doing, Halo 2 is incredibly stable. It doesn't really crash. If I were to give this guy a gun, like give him a plasma rifle, the game would crash immediately. But I'm gonna bring him through to the second half of the mission here, and we'll do a little bit more with him.
This is amazing.
I'm really
The
glad.
setup made it that much better too.
Yeah, I'm glad the counting worked, because I would have felt like a fool if my counting was wrong. You think counting's easy until you're doing it in front of an audience of over 1,000 people. Alright, let me bring him through to the second half of the level here. So I guess we still got some time. I'll show the crash, but then no, I don't want to show the crash because then I'm gonna lose my skulls. Actually, I've got the checkpoints. Whatever, we'll crash the game. Whatever, we've got a little bit of time.
I'd say do it.
It's not very exciting. It just freezes, but I'll still show it.
It's still worth it.
I'll show
in my
you guys
opinion.
the crash. But then we're gonna have to
Cat wants to see it.
We'll
too.
have to sit through like 2 more minutes of loading screens because of it, but it'll be worth it.
That's fine. We just start counting again.
At least we won't have to count again. Alright, so here's the scarab gun brought to the second half of the level. You see its color changes to be green because it's not supposed to exist in this zone set. I can also now aim it a little better that it's not rolling around. You can like see it try to shoot my teammate. I'll just walk in front of it. So it does deal quite a bit of damage, enough to knock the guy through the floor even. So here comes the crash. If I just toss this guy a gun, the game will freeze immediately and the beeping will stop. If you guys have noticed, there's some beeping. It's because the characters, when you turn into them that aren't Master Chief or Arbiter, they don't have shields, and so it thinks your shields are low, so it makes you beep. But here comes the crash. Boom. Can't even bring up the guide button. You gotta turn off the console to uncrash the game.
So entertaining.
Alright, now we've got one more cool glitch for the grand finale that I kind of want to show. But we're going to have to sit through a couple minutes of load zones to get there.
That's fine. There is actually something I can bring up. I mentioned a little bit about how prize submissions are currently open for SGDQ. And of course, SGDQ itself is coming up at the end of the month. But speaking of SGDQ, there will be 2 Halo runs at SGDQ. I figure those of you in chat here would be specifically interested in those. There is a Halo 2 Legendary run on Sunday, June 30th.
By
And then
Zoo.
there is a Halo 3 4-player co-op Legendary run on Thursday, July 4th. And yes, that Halo 2 run is by Zoo.
Yeah.
The Halo 3 run is by Kronos, Adef, Brian Otto, and Nervy Destroyer. So I just wanted to shout those out. Make sure you all tune in to SGDQ. Catch those runs, catch, of course, everything else that's happening that week.
Would very much recommend both of those runs. They're pretty cool. Zoo is very good, and he'll be playing Legendary. Some of you guys were disappointed that I was doing some of these glitches on Easy. Zoo is on Legendary, and he's fast. And the Halo 3 boys are also on Legendary. It does crash a regular Xbox as well. At least I'm pretty sure. Actually, some of them don't crash. I'm pretty sure that one does, but some of them don't. There's a Phantom one that doesn't. Not all of the crashes do crash the OG Xbox. But I'm pretty sure that one I just showed does. I might be wrong. Alright, so...
just means someone has to go count all the way to 250
yeah.
on an original Xbox.
Someone prove me wrong. Boot up your OG and start counting. I agree. Okay, so we turned on one of the skulls, and now we're turning on another one. I have an OG Xbox, actually, under my desk. I should try it. I didn't used to have 2 controllers, but now I do. So I guess I should give that a try. Maybe tomorrow. Check it out on my stream. I'll probably be doing it tomorrow. But there's...
well, there you go.
There's one last AUP that I want to show that is pretty cool, and I won't have to count to 250 to do this one. We're just going to have to watch a couple more load zones. We wouldn't have had to do this if we didn't crash the game, by the way. You guys asked for this. You wanted this.
We did. I'll take responsibility. It's okay.
Vorwärts, Krieger! Fürchtet weder Schmerz noch Tod! Los, Gebieter! Wenn die Verstärkung da ist, komme ich nach!
Oh, I drove off the map.
Vorwärts, Krieger! Fürchtet weder Schmerz noch Tod! Los, Gebieter! Wenn die Verstärkung da ist, komme ich nach!
Did it again. I'm trying to speedrun too fast. I'm keeping momentum on accident and sliding off the map. Alright, let's just go slow.
Den Fortfahren! Zu den Fahrzeugen! Wir brauchen ihre Geschütze! Vorwärts! Zum heiligen Symbol!
Okay, so those are the 2 skulls I need. I needed Sputnik and Envy. So the Envy gives Master Chief camouflage, and Sputnik changes the way explosions boost you. Now we will start up Metropolis. So I told you guys we'd come back to Metropolis at the start, because everyone wants to see the Scarab gun on this level. But we're going to get it in a different way than you guys have ever seen. But not before we watch one more loading zone.
I'll give one final reminder, just in case anyone is just joining us, that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, bits cheered, all of that stuff helps support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you're enjoying the content, not only this, not only the Glitch Showcase, but all of the other hotfix shows, please consider subscribing to the channel.
So for this one, we don't have to overflow the memory, but we will have to set the memory up in a precise way. So I'll be only counting to 25 instead of 250. Very short counting. First, I will get my allies in this warthog so that they don't go forward and start shooting at people. Because again, every bullet that gets created changes the way the memory is set up. And we don't want any extra things in memory. And now we will come over here and park the tank in a very specific way so that we can have a little hidey hole. Oh, come on. Get up there. Should be good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now I need to make 25 objects. So the first time I betray my teammate, he's holding 4 grenades, 2 weapons, and his dead body will count. So that's 7 things. And now he's only got 1 grenade and 2 weapons and a body. So we're up to 11. Now we're up to 15. $19. 23 and 27. So I said we only want 25. So I will pick up 2 grenades, but I have to be sure not to pick up the SMGs. So now we're down to 26. Sure we don't. Alright, there's the 2 grenades. So now we have 25 objects. Now we'll come crouch under here and we'll repeat the steps that you guys are getting used to at this point. And we will jump off the map. So for this one, we have to do a bit of a stealth mission. This might take me 1 or 2 tries because it's kind of challenging. The goal is to sneak across this bridge without these ghosts firing a single bullet. If they spot me, they will shoot. That's why I picked up the Envy Skull, so that they don't spot me. But the Envy Skull doesn't last that long, so you kind of have to really time your camouflage. The first one I use right here, and then I try to stay just behind these ghosts so that they don't see me. Sometimes they'll bump into each other and force them to turn around, which I really don't want. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, good. We're gonna first try this? I think we're gonna first try it. This usually takes a couple tries. Got my camo back. Now I'm hiding for a minute until it comes back again. Good. So whenever I went up to 27 objects and then down to 25 objects, that did affect the memory. So I'm going to need to throw 2 grenades to account for that. I usually do that right here. So now everything should be lined up properly. And then we do a couple more camos. Glad this is working first try, because this can take a few tries sometimes. Wait again. Wait again. 2 more camo cycles and we're there. One more camo cycle and we're there. Alright, don't fail at the last second. Okay, so now this guy falls off the map, and this guy starts jumping and meleeing to delay his respawn. And if I did everything right, I should spawn my allied reinforcements here at the middle of the bridge. I will see them spawn right up here. Yep, Aha, I did it. So now I'm a Marine. You can see that his armor color is wrong. But that's not the end of this trick. There's more. We've got a lot more to show. That's just phase 1. So the Marine has some interesting properties. The Marine can use a lot of the AI features that Master Chief can't. Like, he can boost really fast in the Wraith. Most people, when you play as a Spartan or the Arbiter, you cannot boost this fast. So this is already a unique thing that the Marine has. The Wraith also has the miniguns on the front that normal characters don't have access to. But if I get near some enemies here, check this out. You can fire the miniguns. Most people had lots of rumors of how to do this as a kid. It was a myth. It wasn't possible. But I figured out how to do it. There's still more to show. This is just the sideshow on the way to the main event. Get this guy to... So the Marines that drive this Warthog are actually invincible until they park, which is kind of fun. But I want to steal their Warthog, so I want to flip them. So now they're no longer invincible. The Marine AI has some control whenever you take control of them, so I didn't get out of the Warthog on my own there. They're scripted to get out whenever you cross that threshold. They'll probably do it again, like right here. Oh, he didn't. Nice. Sometimes you have to fight the Marine AI to get the Warthog through the tunnels. So now that we've got through the tunnels, I will hop in the back of the Warthog. And now we will go show the Scarab Gun the cool way on this level. Normal people might know that you can bait a Banshee to follow you through the tunnels to get the Scarab Gun, but we're going to use this Marine to get there instead. I did. Money H.
Eingeschlossen, Chief. Konzentriert euch auf die Wraiths. Die sind am gefährlichsten.
We're almost there. So killing those 2 Wraiths will spawn in this Phantom. And then once this Phantom is down, so this is a Pelican that a lot of people know you can get in the back seat of. It's one of the more popular glitches in Halo 2. But if you're a Marine, you can do more than get in the back seat. I think you can guess where we're going. We're going to ask the pilot to get out and give us the Pelican ourselves, and we're going to fly a Pelican in Halo 2. You just have to jump and hold X, and the pilot will get out. And then you hold X, and now it's yours. I will also show the getting in the back seat, because that's what Master Chief does. And now you can fly the Pelican wherever you want on this level. And this is the better way to go get the Scarab Gun. Scarab Gun. Get back in. And now we can fly with the teamwork and deliver doom to the Covenant. They will not know what hit them. This is the way the game was meant to be played, I'm pretty sure. We'll also show off the soccer ball as a fun little Easter egg here. Where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, there it is. Playing soccer with a pelican. So you can fly around and explore the level. You can still die as a Marine as well, though. There's one more thing I'll show. There's a second scarab gun on this level that a lot of people don't know about. I probably won't be able to wield it because it's pretty challenging, but I'll at least show the second scarab gun. It's the same as that one on Outskirts that I showed near the start of the stream. It only appears for like 2 seconds and then disappears, but I'll at least show it. I might not be able to wield it. This will be the last glitch I show you guys, is the second Metropolis scarab gun. So if we come over here, we stand on top of this light, and then we use this guy to go hit a different load zone, we will be able to show the second scarab gun. I'll try to grab it at least once, because I'll get a checkpoint, but it's kind of challenging, and I know I won't be able to get it without a lineup. Okay. Actually, maybe I do have a lineup. I'll give it 2 tries. So when you get to the top of these stairs, first I'll look at it and then I'll try to grab it. So it's gonna spawn directly in front of me. As soon as I hit this load zone, it'll only spawn for a couple seconds, so it'll be kind of hard to see. There it is. And then the scarab kind of gets in your way, and then it's gone. But if you can get there fast enough, which I'll give it a try here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it though. I'll give it one try here.
Sir, Corporal Perez, Kompanie A, Kommandostand ist da drüben. Der Lieutenant wurde beim Absprung getroffen.
Wer hat jetzt das Kommando, Corporal?
Sergeant Banksman.
Okay, this guy stands here.
Kommen Sie, ich zeig's Ihnen.
Okay, I was too slow, but the lineup was good. I think I can get this. One more try. Destruction is happening behind me.
Kommandostand ist da drüben. Der Lieutenant wurde beim Absprung getroffen.
Wer hat jetzt das Kommando, Corporal?
Sergeant Banksman. Er ist oben.
So what I have to do is I have to jump and grab it midair. Which means I need to nade jump with this guy first. Oh, I missed it. Okay, I'm gonna try from the ground. I don't think I can get high enough with just a grenade. No, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to get it. Just trust, you can grab it if you have a different setup, but without the proper skulls, without the black eye skull, which I don't have, I won't be able to show it. But I'll give it one more look where I'll stare at it so you guys can see the existence of it. But I'm not gonna be able to grab it with this checkpoint setup.
Wurde beim Absprung getroffen.
Wer hat jetzt das Kommando, Corporal?
Sergeant Banksman. Er ist oben.
There it is again, in all of its glory. And that's going to be it for me. We will call it quits at almost 3 hours of glitches. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Well, that I sure did, and I know chat did. Chat was popping off pretty much the whole time. Before I do some closing words, are there any shoutouts you want to give?
I mean, like you mentioned already, watch Zoo and the Halo 3 group at GDQ at the end of this month, or start of next month. And shoutouts to Hark for helping me find a lot of these arbitrary unit possession glitches. And that's about it.
And where can everyone find you on Twitch and YouTube?
Twitch is MisterMonopoli, YouTube is MisterMonopoli. I will say hi in chat. It's spelled out M-I-S-T-E-R, Monopoly with an I at the end. Same on Twitch and YouTube. I've been streaming Halo speedruns nonstop for the past month, pretty much. I've been doing a subathon. I've been trying to beat the record. Been doing good. Still going somehow, but I already put in my long stream today, and then we're here. So check out my stream if you want to see more glitches and speedruns. I do it all the time.
Yeah, well, there you go. That was, again, absolutely phenomenal. I highly recommend, if any of you all missed that, please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/gamesdonequick. The VOD will be up in a few days. With that said, if you did miss any of it, or if you missed out on Awfully Silly right before this, stay tuned for a replay of both shows coming up right after a quick break. And of course, for our live content tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll have a speedrunning showcase during RNG's normal time slot, followed by Time Capsule. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't plug my own show, Parallel Universe. You can check that out this Friday, June 14th at, I believe it is 9 p.m. Eastern? It might be 10 p.m. Eastern. No, it's 10 p.m. Eastern. It's 9 p.m. Central. That's why I always get it confused. And of course, shout out as well to Kung Fu Fruit Cup for planning this whole thing, putting this together. This is her show. She just unfortunately wasn't able to make it today, but it was an absolute honor to hop in as host to catch this amazing glitch showcase. I will finally sign off. I've been Helix. I hope you all have a fantastic night. Enjoy the reruns, and we will see you all tomorrow night for the speedrunning showcase and Time Capsule.